Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be, well, you read the title. I'm just going to talk about some things that I have learned in college and also like kind of some tips and stuff because I'm graduating in 20 days. Graduation's in 20 days. So yeah, this chapter of my life is about to end. I didn't split anything up into categories or anything. I just wrote down 10 just big things that I've learned, and so I'm just gonna go through them and talk about things and also kind of reminisce. So yeah, I started my channel right before junior year. So you guys have been through 2 years of college with me, but there were 2 more before that. So let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. I have them all on my phone. The first big thing that I learned in college is that everyone is different, and that sounds like duh, like everyone knows that, you know that in like elementary school, but I feel like college is when you kind of see for real that not everyone grew up the same way as you, not everyone thinks the same way as you or handles things the same way that you do, but that's okay. That's really what makes people and like human interactions so cool, is that not everyone thinks the same way as you, and if everyone did, things would be very boring. So I feel like in college you're surrounded by so many different types of people. The first year, I think most schools require you to like live on campus, and so you probably have a roommate. I have had roommates all throughout my 4 years. I've never lived by myself, and it's been a lot of fun, but it's also a learning experience just because it teaches you to navigate situations differently, because not everything has to go your way, and sometimes your way is wrong or like not the best option. So that is one of the biggest things I think I've learned in college, which leads me into my next thing that I learned, which is college is about life. Sounds kind of weird. Yes, college is obviously to get higher education and, you know, move up and learn more academically. That of course is mainly what it's for. You're paying for it, so yes. However, it's about figuring out who you are. You learn to really and truly clean up after yourself, clean up after other people if necessary, because if something needs to be done, you do it. Maybe growing up, if you didn't clean up, maybe your mom cleaned up for you, or your dad, or you know, your sibling did your chore instead of you one day. When you move out, it's all on you. You also learn to just clean in general, cook food, and like provide meals for yourself. You have to get your schoolwork done, you know, you also have to make money, get a part-time job, and provide for yourself. It's all just about becoming your own person and like learning all the adult things, and also developing connections with other people, and then eventually developing connections with other professionals, and it all just gets you ready for the real world. The third thing I learned is that it is okay to ask for help, whether that's in school or just in general. It is not frowned upon to go to office hours or tutoring for one of your classes. Freshman year, I did go to lead tutoring for chemistry because I did not know what I was doing, and there were a lot of other people who did the same thing, and we all were kind of learning together. I still did poorly in the class just because chemistry is not my thing, but it's not embarrassing. Nobody's gonna judge you for going to office hours or tutoring or something. It honestly shows that you are taking it upon yourself to do better. And the same goes for just general life. If you are down, you're not feeling too hot, and you need to be around other people, it is okay to ask for that. Ask your friends, ask your roommates. The fourth thing that I've learned is that nobody actually has it figured out, so it's best to just not compare yourself. And I know that is so much easier said than done, but it's not gonna get you anywhere to compare yourself to other people. It's only gonna make you feel like you're not doing enough, even though you probably are, because college is hard, you're doing a lot of things. But every time I have talked to my friends or other people about where they're at and like, oh, graduation's coming up and I don't even know what I'm doing, half the time the response is, I don't either, I don't know. Not just graduation, you know, maybe it's a test or something coming up and you're talking to someone and you're like, I am not ready for this, I'm not really sure what's happening. So as hard as it is to not compare yourself to others, there's just like, nobody knows what they're doing. Even if they act like they do, that's not true. It's just not. You're not the only one that doesn't know what they're doing. The fifth thing I've learned is your friend group may fluctuate, and that's okay. Honestly, a lot of the time, it's not personal. Everyone is on a different path. They were in your life for a reason. Accept it. Move on. You're not perfect. They're not perfect. I actually saw a quote one time that was like, you might be the villain in someone's story, but you have to be okay with that. And it's a very hard pill to swallow. You might think you did nothing wrong in a friendship or whatever it is, but just like how you might say, yeah, that person just like wasn't great for me, like blah blah blah, we're not friends anymore, whatever, someone else might feel the same way about you. At the end of the day, everyone's goal is to grow and to be a better person. So, well, at least it should be. So because of that, half the time, again, it's really not personal. Everyone's just kind of growing up and sometimes you just drift apart and that's fine. And that kind of goes into my next two things that I learned, which the first one is just the best friends are the ones that you don't need to talk to every day. I don't know how to really go into that one. It's just, college is a lot. You're doing a lot of things. Everybody gets busy. The longer you're in it, the busier you get. If your best friend doesn't talk to you one day, it's not like they don't like you, they just are busy, and that's fine. So I feel like the best friends are ones that you don't need to talk to every day. You can, and that's great, but that necessity line where it's like, oh, I need to talk to them or hang out with them today or else the friendship's gonna be weird. Like, no. So then the next thing I've learned is that you should do things that make you feel good and make you feel happy. Obviously, as long as it's not actively hurting somebody else or hurting you. So do the things that make you happy and surround yourself with people that support you as a person and support your goals and your aspirations, and not just people that are just fun to hang out with. They're good people to hang out with when you want to have fun. That's great. There are going to be those types of people. You might be that person for other people. That's not a bad thing. But also just make sure that like your core group of friends are people that support you and are there for you and like want to see you do well in life. The last three things I've learned are more like tips, and they're things that I like just recently learned, and they have more to do with like the nitty-gritty of college. So the first one is to talk to your professors. Your professors could become your colleagues one day, or they can refer you to other professionals or jobs that could pertain to you and really do something for you. So one of the jobs that I applied for was recommended to me by one of my professors, which is funny because it was a public health professor, but he knew that social media and marketing is like what I actually kind of want to do, and he emailed me and was like, hey, like there's this job and I thought you might be interested in it. So sweet. I didn't get the job, but that's okay. Talk to your professors. There's no wrong that it could do for you. And then that leads me to my other thing, which is, this is more of like a once you're about to graduate kind of thing, but just a little something to remember. The job that you pursue does not have to be what you majored in. Obviously, there are exceptions like nursing, or you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, like an engineer. I think to be like a dietitian, your major has to be nutrition. So there are exceptions. But for the most part, in general, what you majored in might not have anything to do with the job that you pursue. And I struggled with that because I was like, my major's public health. If you didn't know, my major's public health, my minor's nutrition. It was nutrition, and then I did chemistry, and I was like, So I changed it to public health because it's like super broad, and I really like health in general, so I made nutrition my minor. I can get away with not having to do chemistry. Anyways, that's besides the point, but that's my major. And when I started my YouTube channel, I entered the world of like social media and digital marketing and stuff like that, and I was like, wait, I like this. And so unfortunately I realized it had nothing to do really with my major. There is a way that you could mesh the two, but I just was like, I like this. And I was really stressed out and like down about it for a while. I actually think I talked about it in one of my videos. I think I did a week in my life a little bit ago and had like a mental breakdown, and I talked about that a little bit. But look at me now. Graduation is in less than a month. I might potentially, I don't know, I think that I have a job lined up, so it will work out in the end. Like I said, there are exceptions, but don't stress too much about picking your major. It would definitely help for it to be along the lines of something that you're interested in and could see yourself doing once you graduate. But as long as it's not like, you know, you want to be an engineer or a doctor, don't stress out too much about it, because I have talked to a lot of professionals recently who have graduated college and they're, you know, doing their job, whatever they do, and they say, yeah, actually I majored in blah 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 and that's not what I do here. So that's like literally almost everyone that I've talked to, because I thought that like I would go job hunting for, you know, kind of marketing based jobs, and they'd be like, public health, bye. But no one did that. No one did that. And it's really all about how you talk to a professional and, you know, your actual experience. Being able to hold a conversation with an adult is like probably the top skill, at least I think, that you should have when you go looking for a job. Also, it's really frustrating, side note, when you're like looking for a job out of college and you're, you know, scrolling on Indeed or LinkedIn or whatever you're looking on, and the job is like,
experience 5+ years.
I've been in school for the past 21 years. So like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Recruiters, jobs, people out there who hire people, give us a break. Like, we just graduated. We don't have any experience. This that I'm applying for is gonna be my experience. So like, what do you mean? Anyways, you can acquire some experience in whatever you want to do throughout college with whatever job you have, or, you know, like I did YouTube. I have a job with App State where I do YouTube videos for them, and that's like marketing and production and stuff like that. I really got off on a tangent there. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, don't overthink your major. Choose something you like, something you're interested in, and just keep it moving. Just keep it moving. Next and final tip is to go to your career fairs. Go to them. It's scary. The second career fair I went to, I parked my car and almost didn't even get out because I was so nervous. If I didn't go, I don't know what I would have done. Like, almost every interview that I've had so far has been because I went to the career fair. Also, it doesn't have to be your major. The first career fair I went to was, I think it was just a general one, and I ended up getting an interview for somewhere. I went to the interview. I knew that I wasn't gonna accept the job even if they offered it to me, but I also knew that I needed interview practice. So I was like, yeah, I'll do an interview, of course. And they actually offered me the job and I declined it. But it gave me such good interview practice. The interviews that you do for your little retail or fast food part-time job are not the same as a full-time job. They're gonna ask you real questions and you're not gonna really know how to answer them. So you might as well get practice while you can. Go to your career fairs. The second one I went to was actually a business career fair. And that was kind of why I was freaking out beforehand, because I was like, my major's public health and like nobody's gonna want to talk to me and blah 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 blah. That was where everyone I talked to was like, yeah, no, I didn't major in this. This is not what I know. And from that career fair, I got 2 interviews and 1 like follow-up call, and almost got an interview, and I decided not to follow through with it. But they were actually things that I was considering to be my for real full-time job after I graduated, and it's because I sucked it up and I went to the career fair. Even if you get, you know, no interviews or no calls or whatever, it helps you practice talking to professionals. It's so important. It's so important to be able to talk about your experience, pitch yourself, and carry on a conversation with another professional. I said it once and I'll say it again. It will only benefit you. It's a lot more, what's the word? It's a lot easier to get an interview or even get a job if you see the person face to face and you actually have a conversation with them, rather than, you know, attaching your resume on a website and applying online. Face to face, man. That'll do it. Yeah, I wanted to have those as my last few things I learned and tips because it relates to where I'm at right now and what I've recently learned. And yeah, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel so that you can follow along with me and see where my life goes after graduation. All my socials are linked down below. Very easy to subscribe to this channel. Doesn't cost you a dime, and you get to see my cute little face every week. Sometimes every week when I'm not super busy doing other stuff. After I graduate, everything will slow down in my life and I will be on top of it just like I used to be. So that is all that I have for you guys today. Those are the main things that I've learned in college, the main tips I have. Obviously, I've learned so much more. College it's 4 years of learning. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like it down below, subscribe to my channel, comment, share, save. Is that a thing on YouTube? I should probably know that. Do all of the things, every single one of them. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. What's this? Am I playing an instrument? Bye. I'm not making any sense. Oh my gosh, is that what that's from? I did not realize that having this plant next to this candle would hurt it. But it was like burning the leaf. The leaf is a little burnt. Wow. That's sad. Okay, what was I even talking about? What was I saying? Nothing's like